years to transcend from that era of 100 to 150 years to the new era, which is the next, which is coming up, which we are all going to prepare, and we talk about the 21st century and that is what is that 50-year which is responsible for this transition. Therefore, we will focus our discussions and take it to the next level by talking about these 50 years. And I will define that 50-year boundary from where to when and how as we proceed. So therefore, as I said, that change is inevitable. It's a phenomena. It has already been recorded by our people in the Eastern mysticism and so on and so forth, and then science took over, and then so on and so forth. Right? So therefore, the change is caused, basically, this 50 year, the change is caused because of the technological breakdown and the technological breakthrough. Now, as far as in the current 50-year transition, the technological breakthrough is going to come in the networking and the software. The technological breakthrough is going to come in the networking and software, and the breakdown is going to come in the processor technology or the VLSI. Thus, there are two forces which are actually acting on this, vis-a-vis the force of the breakdown and the forces of the breakthrough. Next one. So therefore, now both these forces will propel this new high-tech world into a new model of computing, right? Somewhere around the year 2012 to 2013, which is very near. Therefore, this new model will be based on what is called as the networked global mega computer, right? That will obey what we call in technology as the Gustafson-Barsis speed-up law rather than the Amadel's law of parallelism. Right? So therefore, as you all know, and as you are all experiencing now, that the next generation super information highway is going to be a network of cable TV operators rather than telephone companies. I'm sorry to say that the vision of the AT&T Bell Labs, when they sold off the networked locals, was the biggest disaster ever they did because of this. Next. So therefore, there will be a new era of programming, right, that eliminates the traditional programming language, and thus, in the process, scolding the software engineering community for its failure. Right? So it will eliminate the traditional programming language, and it will lead to what is called as the software economy, which is coming up, and you are a part of it, and an electronic commerce dominated by software artisans and not anybody else. Today, the thief is not going to be guy with the muscle power. It's going to be the software artisans. Cyber crimes is going to be the biggest threat of this 21st century. The guy with the muscle power cannot ransack or cannot hijack. It is the engineer, it is the intellect himself who will be the thief. Therefore, as I said, that the change is non-linear. No one can predict what others can conceive. As everybody takes on to their professional career, though you may be a software engineer, we are today preparing engineers, doctors, and scientists whom we do not know even. That means we are preparing them for a future that neither me nor you know, because business is at the rate of thought, And knowledge, its obsolescence, is as fast as it is created. The graduating engineer who learns a programming language which will be of no use to him ever by the time he or she graduates. What's the product life cycle today? The economist traditional factors of production, land, labor and capital, are no more important and they have become secondary, for the fact that these can always be bought whenever you want. But as we transcend from the information society to the knowledge society, knowledge is the most important and critical factor which is necessary for anyone's growth, and powered by what is called as the idea, which can come out from anywhere sphere of this life, not only the IITs, NITs, Stanford or Harvard, even from this institution and this crowd can get out an idea which could be $1 million, and that's the reason why the companies today are actually trying to think out of the box. And they have realized the wisdom of the masses. And that's the power of the idea, the most powerful thing in the world. Well, anyway, so therefore, the period, the window which I'm going to talk about and walk you through, the past, the present tense, and then into the future, is from 1960 to 2010. That's the 50 year which actually separates the transitions from 150 years boundaries of golden eras to the next era as we transcend. I and you are a part of it. We do not see, we do not feel it, we do not see it happening. But visionaries are in a position to see it for the fact that they have the agility and the foresight. You and I are a part of it, so you do not see it. Definitely you will not, but you will feel and feel. Some of those things which I will enunciate and bring forth and present before you, you will be able to realize, yes, this phenomenon is. So we predictably, scientifically predict what is going to happen and how we are going to transcend. So we call this as the current burst. Now this current burst, which I have defined from 1960 to 2010, this 50-year transition had 3 basic innovations. And that innovation was in the computer technology. Right? What was it? The first one was the microprocessing devices. Or in other words, if you want to coin the term in a single one, it's the microprocessor. The manner in which it was designed, right? The manner in which it was manufactured in masses, and the manner in which it is hitting the market saturation today. The second was the telecommunications and the networking, right? The manner again in which it was conceived, it was designed, it was then deployed. All those things lay in front of you. And the third one is the software engineering. The manner it was envisioned through innovations, through ideas that power these innovations, the business niches, the market attributes, and the attitudes in which it was actually manufactured and then distributed, and the cutting edge technologies and the cutting throat competitions which this business brought in by every year, like upgrades and things like that, and the software became obsolescent, and so was your machine. And that was the software engineering. That was the most notorious of the things which ever happened in this century. And that is the reason why we scold the software engineering community for its failure. You have a thing today, I have it forever. I have a BMW, I have it forever, provided I can maintain. But I have this bloody software, it's screwed up. I never have it forever. Why? Because it becomes useless with each time the technology advances, and that's the manner in which this business was conceived. The rights, the intellectualism. If you look back into its history by rewinding yourself back, when the Macintosh was done, and the way it was marketed, the way AutoCAD is marketed and the way it was conceived, all those things have been reaped in just one fraction of a second by the year 2000 time. Well, so this is what about. So therefore, the important thing is the microprocessor, the finest creations, the telecommunications, and the software engineering. Now, if you look at all these three innovations of this computer technology, they are almost nearing its rapid technical ascent in terms of the mileage which we could have got from these devices or these technologies. So therefore, this marketplace is going to soon stall like the TV. Right? Whatever happens, in either case, this incredible 50-year innovation or this 50-year streak of rapid innovation and progress is going to hit its next major breakdown. And that is going to be the end anytime now, this year, next year, or a year after. So that's the window which I am talking about, 1960 to 2010. They are almost going to hit their end of their performance wall, which will force widespread adoption, and the technologies will not have much room to conquer anything more. So therefore, this event will earmark the end of the post-industrial era or the society and flag or signal the beginning of the next era, again of 100 to 200 years. Perhaps I would not be wrong if I quote at this point in time that the students of 2100 will forget the era of the microprocessor and communication technology. And they will not be able to imagine how the people lived in this era. The students of 2100, that's for sure. Now, the next one. So, having said this, we need to support constructively through thoughtful answers. As I said, the end of the industrial age is almost over. We are at the edge. Anytime it can be over. It can be gone even tomorrow. And the new era will kick in. Again, we'll have 100 to 150 years of a glorious progress and future. Now, how so? The first thing is that the silicon or the semiconductor technology, that is the silicon-based technology, is almost nearing its end. Technical roadblocks, or if you do not understand technical roadblocks, then physics will stop its progress. It's almost at the brink of its limit. We are talking about single electronic devices or single electron devices, SETs. That's the limit which we are almost reached. We are hitting the surface of the atoms itself, nanotech. And then you have, beyond that, picotech and femtotech, 10 to the power of minus 15. So therefore, the first thing is the microprocessor may be gone, because the reason is the silicon-based technology is almost reaching its limit, because physics will no more permit. Quantum effects, the available energy with the atom itself, kT, K is the Boltzmann constant and T is the temperature. The next, that is this decade which we are talking about, the telecommunications industry has almost wired each and every major technological society. Yes? Each and every one of you today, every major technological society, nowhere, wherever they are, anytime, any place, anywhere, anything. The glorious era of the interface. We fought computing power on laptop and to the battle of the bandwidths. And today we have bandwidth as a commodity. We have the processing and the horsepower on this laptop. And then from there, So it all started from those huge supercomputers which were occupying this much of room.